Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining us right here today is Ben Walker. Ben, how are we doing today?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on the show, Kayden.
It's my pleasure. So let's get started by getting to know you a bit and tell us, how did you get started in music?
Oh, it's a it's a long and varied story. I grew up in the UK, and when you're at primary school in the UK, at least when I was growing up, if you wanted to get into music and play an instrument, you had to do a bit of a test. And I did the test, and I was super excited. I wanted to play guitar. I passed the test, and then me and about 10 others were sat outside the headmaster's office, and he comes out with the music teacher, and he's asking each of us what instrument we want to play, and I only wanted to play the guitar. And he had this panicked look on his face, and they were offering me all these different instruments. They didn't have a guitar teacher that year. So in the end, they convinced me to try the cello. And they said that the cello was similar to a guitar. And it didn't work out too well. Whenever people weren't looking, I'd turn the cello on its side, try to play it as a guitar. But we had a little mini car at the time. My mum tried to fit the cello in the boot. The cello broke. You name it, everything went wrong with the cello. And so at that age, you jump to conclusions a bit. I decided I was just not made for music. And what I didn't know was in the background, my music teacher was saying to my parents, "Oh, don't let him stop. He's really good at this." But I stopped. Loved listening to music. Would In my bedroom, I'd be singing along, pretending to be the different artists. But I went off to university. I fell in with a music crowd. I did some sound engineering for a band. I did some roadieing for a band, but I just assumed I couldn't play an instrument because the cello hadn't gone very well. And it wasn't until I was in my 40s. I think my wife was fed up hearing this story. She bought me some guitar lessons. And I said to myself, well, if I'm going to give this a crack, the day I don't practice is the day I stop the lessons. And so in the first year, I played every single day for at least half an hour. And by the end of the first year, I was ready to start writing my own music. And that was, 7 or so years ago. And I haven't looked back since 12 or 13 singles and then an album. So, yeah, it's been a pretty fun ride. I kind of wish I'd kept it going when I was younger.
Absolutely. Now let's chat about your song Time Machine. Tell us more about that track.
So I'm lucky enough to do some riding with Alan Caswell. Alan is, I think, Australia's most recorded songwriter. And Particular day, Alan was coming down to my house in Sydney, in Australia. And the night before, I'd be watching a news program on the TV, and this guy, round about my age, was telling the journalist that he was about to have to move his family out of their rented house and into the car because he couldn't afford the rent anymore. Lots of cost of living issues over here in Sydney at the moment. And Alan and I were sat at my kitchen table and we're having a beer, having a chat. And I said, it's crazy that that sort of thing can happen in a developed country and children don't have a roof over their heads. And he turned to me and he said, it's almost like you want a time machine to go back to the good old days. And everything stopped. And we looked at each other and said, that's a song. And so we probably had the song down after that within about 20 minutes. And it's a mix of the idea of Alan talking to my kids, me talking to my kids, bit of humor thrown in as well. Just that idea of actually maybe everything's not quite as good as it seems today. Maybe there's a few things we can change as a society.
Definitely, and I really enjoyed that song, and I can definitely feel that humor with listening into Time Machine. Great job on that one for sure.
Thank you very much. Yeah, lots of people like it. Always gets a giggle when I play it live.
Yes,
It's a cracker.
for sure. Now, where can people learn more about you?
So my website is benwalkermusic .com.au. That's got all of the information. I'm also on Facebook, Ben Walker Music on Facebook. And that's Ben Walker Music Official on Instagram. So they're the three best ways to learn more information, and all of those sites linked to the digital streamers of my music as well.
Now, if you had the opportunity to collaborate with any artist, whether they're with us today or not, who would you choose and why would you choose them?
Oh wow, that's a question. Um, I would. Can I pick more than one?
Go
Um,
right ahead. Go right ahead.
so the first one would have to be um, Eric Clapton. Um, I think I his guitar is something else, and I'd love to get close to that. And then the other, being born in the north of England, I'd have to pick a Beatle. So Paul McCartney.
There you go. Those are great choices for sure. If you had one message to tell anybody that was listening right now, it could be literally about anything, whether that be your fans, my listeners, what would you tell the world right now?
Um, I'd say dreams do come true, and believe in yourself. I'd love to get the chance to talk to the little boy I was, playing the cello, wanting to play the guitar, and say, actually, go and have that chat with your parents. Go and get the guitar. Save up for it if you need to, because in the last 7 years, my music has really brought me to life, and I would love to have been doing it for longer. So believe in yourself, dreams come true.
Very, very well said, Ben. And is there anything else that I forgot to mention that you would like to mention before we go today?
Um, um, no, I don't think so. Would love people to check out the music, and also tell people not to be shy. I love people coming onto my Facebook page and giving me comments on my music, hearing what people think. So would love people to do that as well.
Awesome, Ben Walker. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. Definitely appreciate your time and support. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Kayden. Great to talk to you.